Hey guys, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for our YouTube channel. Um, Keelan hasn't been coming with me to the gym in Regina, filming me hitting all my PRs. So I guess we're going to do something different this time. We're going to be doing a little bit of a podcast, if you want to call it. Just kind of going over the events. But by the way, the events that she missed me lifting was a 490-pound stone and 855-pound raw deadlift. But I guess that's not important enough to make the cut. Well, those are pretty nice lifts. Those are pretty nice lifts. But anyways, a couple weeks ago they announced the events for Westerns 2024, Western Canada Strongest Man. I will be defending my title at that one, and it's over in Duncan, British Columbia, on the island. So, pretty far out west, but it's a pretty nice island, and it's gonna be a good time. Um, it's open to 25 athletes, which is, I think, probably the most it's ever been, ever. Usually, it's only 12, 14, maybe 16 at the most. So, there's 12 pros signed up, and I think 13 amateurs so far. So pretty excited to see some new people. We can kind of go over the events and discuss how I think maybe how they'll go. But like I said, with 25 guys, some of them I don't even know. You never know. They could throw a curveball in there and mess everything up for the rest of us. The way that this is going to be ran is a little bit different than most competitions, I guess. It'll be the first time I'm kind of using this exact formula. So there's 6 events. 25 athletes. After the first 3 events, they're going to take the top 12 guys, and then they get to do the last 3 events. So some guys are going to be getting cut. That's just the nature of the beast, I guess. So you just want to be in a good position after the first 3 events and go from there. So with that being said, the first event is a 75-foot yoke, 900 pounds. It'll be interesting. There's a lot of good yoke runners. I won't even call it walkers because I know guys are going to be sprinting with this. In the past, it has been a bad event for me. At the Shaw, it was really not good for me. It was 1,000 pounds for 100 feet, I think. But here it's 90 pounds, 900 pounds, straight shot, 75 feet. Training's going well. Don't really know what the winning time will be, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty fast. I'd say under 15 seconds, I'm sure, will probably be the winning time. So if you can get in between the 15-20 seconds, I think that would be top half for sure. So I'm excited for that one. I've been putting in the work, and I got myself a nice Rogue yoke now, so I'll be able to train it at home, which is kind of a good bonus for me. I don't have to drive to Regina every time to train that event. Next event is log for reps. Same weight as last year, 320 pounds. So I'm excited for this one. I've been putting in the work pretty hard for my log press. I think I put probably 40 some pounds on my 1 rep max, 40 to 50 pounds last year. Earlier this year, I hit a 385 log, and comp weight for training is going well. I'm doing it for reps and sets. The winning number last year was 6. Colton and Tristan tied with 6, and I got second with 5. So there'll be guys pushing that 6, 7, maybe even 8 rep come game day. So my goal is to improve from on last year. I'm pretty confident I can get hit 6 for sure. 7 would be awesome. So we're gonna see what we could do, but it's gonna be a slugfest for that event. Could be 3-4 way tie. Tristan's good at log, so is Colton, so is Sean. I'm right up there, and then again, maybe some guys that I'm not quite aware of that can challenge us. So I'm looking forward to that one. So I'm hoping for a good result in the log for reps, because the third event is a Denny Stone carry. I think we're just using the Cerberus like implements with plates, but it's a max distance carry. 1 drop allowed. I'm not sure if it's 1 drop per lap or if it's just 1 drop total. Not too sure yet. We have to figure out the rules, but it's 300 pounds one hand, 250 in the other. So exact same weight as OSG, and I was prepping for that for quite a few weeks, so I got a good feeling for them. Been training them a little bit because I have a competition next week that has a frame into Dinny, so I've been kind of using them. But I've never trained it for max distance, so I know a lot of guys are be going hook grip. I probably won't be. I'm a baby and it hurts, and I try with 200 pounds and it hurts too much, so I'm just going to grip it and rip it. And yeah, that's where you want to know the furthest distance going into that event, so you have to do well in the event before. Again, this one, I'm not too sure. Tristan obviously has an amazing grip. I have a pretty good grip. But you got guys like Liam who has hook gripped and can carry full comp weight dinnies, like actual 700 and some pounds. I forget the number, but full comp weight dinny. So that could be a guy to watch out for. I think Lars has also carried full dinny stone weights. So we don't know what a good distance is going to be, but I have a feeling it's going to be at least 150 feet, 2 laps, I bet you for sure, if not more. So I'm excited for that one. Not so much excited to train it, but it is what it is, and we got to see who can carry him the furthest. It's more of a pain tolerance event than a grip event, I'd say, but that's a part of Strongman. So that's the third event. So after those 3 events, they're going to rescore it. I guess the way that they're rescoring it is a bit different than, say, OSG, but let's say after day 1 or the first 3 events, I have 50 points, and then the next guy in second has 40 points. I don't go into the next 3 events with that 10-point separation. I only go in there with 12 points because they're cutting it down to 12 guys, and then the second guy gets 11, third gets 10, and so on and so forth. So there's definitely going to be some strategy to play there. It's the points are going to be very tight. But like worst case scenario, I guess if you're going into the next set of 3 events in third place or even fourth place, you're only 2 to 3 points behind first place. So it's going to be different playing with that technique and that strategy to see maybe you take it a little bit easier on the first 3 events to save some energy for the last 3, or you just go full out the whole time, which is probably what I'll do. So yeah, that puts us into the final 3 events, which is a Zercher carry for 75 feet. I'm imagining it's going to be with the yoke because that's what we're using on the first event. 75 feet into a sandbag over bar for reps. Not sure on the time limit there. Maybe it's 60 seconds, maybe it's 75. I sure hope it's not 90 seconds, but we'll see. Zercher weight is 550 pounds. Sandbag is 320. So Zercher is an event I've never actually done before. I've done Conan's wheel, so I think it's kind of similar to that. Not really the best event for me, and I know guys like Colton, who did have a world record in the Husafell stone carry for a bit. He's very good at those front carry events. Tristan's an amazing athlete. Tyler is a very athletic guy. Sean, I just saw him doing training at comp weight, so it's going to be a battle. A lot of guys are going to struggle with the Zercher carry. We got different heights. I think the tallest competitor is 6'5", 6'6", and then the shortest guy, I don't even know how short he is, 5'6", let's call him. Maybe he's 5'7", I'm not sure. So they're setting the height to the shortest guy and leaving it the same for everyone. So it'll make the sandbag over bar easier for the taller guys, and sandbag for me is pretty good. I can pick really heavy sandbag. I can load pretty well, so I think that'll be a pretty good event for me. Again, you're just gonna have to see how far everyone else can push their bodies to get as many reps as they can in that time frame, and I think it should be a pretty decent one for me. Which leads into the 5th event, which is probably my worst event in Strongman. The levers I have is not built for me, but it's a front hold for time, 50 pounds. I got really long, dangly gorilla arms, and it's just not really a good event for me, but I've been training it pretty hard, doing lots of accessories to try and build that up. You get really good guys like Josh, who have done the Rogue Record Breakers front holds. Sean, I don't know if he has or not, but I know he's good at front holds, so that one could be a total shocker to people too, because you can get guys that you've never even seen before who are amazing at it. Or I know Sam, like Riesling, he's got really tiny little T-Rex arms, so they're perfect. It's the perfect event for him. He's beaten me on it before, actually. So all I can do is just keep putting in the work and hope for the best in that event. It's kind of damage control, but it is what it is. And I'll just keep training as hard as I can. Dun-dun-dun, which goes into the last event. All the money, all the marbles, all the who's the strongest man in Western Canada comes down to this. And typically, most competitions end in Atlas stones, but nope, this one's ending in a max mammoth bar deadlift. So, starting weight is 725 pounds. So pretty serious weight, not messing around. There's a couple guys who have used a mammoth bar. I've used it on a wagon wheel, so not from the floor, but training's going very well for that. My deadlift has shot up pretty good last year. Last year, suited, I pulled the heaviest weight in Western Canada history, 905 pounds, with some extra in the tank. But guys like Tristan, he's really hammering his deadlift. He just pulled a huge PR, 400 kilos. Sean is an amazing puller. Well, Tyler hasn't pulled 800 pounds. But he's getting better. He's grindy. And then also guys like Liam, if he can make the finals, like he's got over 800-pound deadlift. And then with the whip of this bar and how tight you can get your hands in, there's going to be some insane numbers pulled, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go well above 900 pounds. Maybe even closer to that 1,000 pounds if guys have to push each other. If it all comes down to it, and it's 1 point between 1 and 2, guys are going to push themselves to the extreme, and it's going to be an exciting way to end the competition. So after these 6 events, we'll find out who the strongest man in Western Canada is, but also the top 4 get to go to Canada's Strongest Man. I think 2 weeks later, so not much time in between competitions, but that's just how JF rolls. And we also have North America's Strongest Man at the end of July. So July is a very busy month, but those are the events. I don't even know if I could do predictions because it's going to be difficult. Still lots of time. I think we're 12 weeks away. So, lots can happen. Potential injuries. That's the name of the sport. Guys could drop out and get last minute call-ins. I'm not too sure, but I'm going there with one thing, and that's to defend my title. I think if everything goes the way that I know they can for me and how I've been training and how prep's been going so far, I believe I can. There's no reason why I can't, but it's going to be a lot tighter than last year. Top 4 is going to be pretty tight. The points are going to be very tight. I think last year I won by 4 points, so I think this year is going to be even tighter than that. And even for 4th place is going to be a battle to see who gets there. So excited to see. I'm glad that the West gets 4 spots at CSM this year. Usually it's 3, but we're getting stronger. We're getting more competitive, and it's exciting to see. I can't wait. You're going to have to keep tuning in to our training. I'll be posting most of my training, but some events I won't be training. I'll be keeping them a secret. So you have to stay tuned and see how 2024 Western Canada's Strongest Man goes. Okay, I'll try and do an actual podium prediction. So, in first place, with 47.5 points. No, just kidding. I won't do points, but my it's gonna be tough. I really don't know if I had to put money on it, or if someone had a gun to my head. I would say it's gonna be myself in first. Second, I believe, will be Tristan. Third will be Sean. And fourth will be a toss-up between Colton and Tyler. It's gonna be very tight. The only reason that I have Colton down in fourth is because of his deadlift. I know he's putting work on it, but there's a lot of guys that will be well over 800 pounds, and the deadlift might hurt him, but he's good at every other event, so he might not need to push that much. So it's going to be tight. It's anyone's to predict, really. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, yeah, I got a couple bad events, but I got a couple good events. So that's the exciting thing about it. It's going to be very tight. Like I said, points are going to be very tight. But that's the top four I'm going with. That's who's going to go to Canada's Strongest Man, and you're just going to have to wait and see. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We keep growing the channel, which is amazing to see. Couldn't do it without your support. So thanks for watching, and remember, let's keep this train rolling.